A very good afternoon, a lovely day here in Podium, brilliant bright sunshine and a blue sky, but inside we're getting ready now for the women's 63 kilo championship of Europe, and this is a category which is hugely competitive because there's a spread of just 14 kilos amongst the 10 competitors this afternoon. Michaela Breeze alongside myself, David Goldstrom, and as far as the British interest, it's very strong. Emily Godley and Zoe Smith representing Great Britain, and Michaela, who's sitting right next to me, is the British snatch record holder. So let's meet the competitors, and first off it's Russia's Karazina of Russia, second in last year's IWF Grand Prix. Annie Wurkijoki of Finland, 27 years of age, coming down in weight class. And here's Emily Godley, fifth in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in 2014. Christine Petrosian, ninth in the Junior Worlds a couple of seasons ago. And Zoe Smith, the Commonwealth Games champion at 50 kilos in 2014. Then Georgia Bourdignon, bronze medal last year in the Senior Europeans, and Patricia Strenius, who hails originally from track and field, representing Sweden, 8th in Europe last season in the seniors. Junior world champion is the next we see. Diana Akhmetova, junior world champion 2 seasons ago, representing Russia. And then 6th in the under-23 category in 2014, Karazina Krasa, representing Poland. She's the lightest of the class. And Anna Every completes the lineup for Finland, 7th in the senior final last year in Georgia in Tbilisi. So those are your 10 competitors. We're going to take a wee break, and then we'll be back for uninterrupted coverage of the snatch. For you the opening weights which each of the lifters has posted. Those may change because this is a chess game which develops into a poker match towards the end, and it's not only what happens on the competition stage, it's decisions that are made backstage in the warm-up room that make this sport so fascinating. So sit back with Michaela Breeze and myself, David Goldstrom. We're obviously really interested in this category, particularly with the likes of Emily Godley, but particularly Zoe Smith, who, if everything goes to plan, has a real chance of big medals. Now, just a reminder that in the B group earlier today, in the snatch phase, this was the young woman who actually produced the best results. And her name, Irene Martinez-Santiago. And kilos on the bar there, 90. And that is the leading kilos, or the leading number of kilos, I should say, at this moment. So she is effectively the leader in the clubhouse for the first half of the competition. So here we go, and it's Karazina Krasa on stage. First attempt, 83 kilos on the bar as she comes forward here. The lightest body weight of everybody, 58.02, and after the lift, we'll explain to you why she's come in at such a light body weight. First attempt, women's 63 kilo championship.
Karazina Krasa of Poland, weighing in at a very light, as you said, 58.02. Looks like she's had to eat or drink to actually make the weight category. It's not very often you see lifters trying to force body weight on. But the reason being, there were 2 Polish lifters that competed yesterday in the women's 58 category. You can only have a maximum of 2 per category. Poland are trying to send their strongest lifters to accumulate as many points as possible ahead of the Rio Olympics. So she's competing today at 63.
And just to recap, because it looks as if she's going to follow herself, earlier in the day, the B group, Irene Martinez-Santiago, a snatch of 90 kilos at the 3rd attempt, gave her the gold medal in, not the gold medal, but the honor of being the leader in the snatch division. She added 104 kilos to give herself a total of 194 kilos, and she is the overall leader in the clubhouse. She just has to wait and see how that 194 matches up. But on paper, at least, it should be all for the A group, because the totals entered by the 10 athletes here are all in excess of 200 kilos. So Karazina Krasa, mum of a 2-year-old daughter, out on the stage here with a big task.
Well, still on her toes, but that was better. She took the time in the bottom receiving position just to steady herself, regain her balance before standing. She nearly lost that forwards. Nervous lifting as she starts this competition. Heels came up, did well to recover.
Yeah, she really is a 58-kilo lifter. And last year in the European under-23s, total up 177 kilos in that category. And she's a pretty consistent lifter as well. So now in this class today, we have not one but 2 Finnish athletes. And this is Anna Maria Everi getting ready for her first attempt. Dad's been involved in the sport for years and years and years, and it's great to see countries like Finland and Sweden now, their lifters maturing and coming into the European A finals. A long way to go to compete with the powerhouses of Asia, but nonetheless really good to see her in a European A final once again. 28 years of age, 7th in Europe last year, so there's a target she will want to better by the end of this competition. 88 kilos is what she lifted last year.
And I think we could well see her getting closer to that today. 85, very comfortable opening attempt.
Well, I would hope very much that she can actually surpass that, because that was an elegant and efficient lift.
It looked very solid. There's the smile, the relief. Knowing you've got one lift in, it's always nice to get the first lift registered.
So from one Finn momentarily to another, and this is Annie for Yoki, a year younger, and 86 kilos on the bar for her. She did lift at 69 kilos in the World Championships, so this is coming down since last November to today's body weight. She was 12th in Europe at the 69-kilo category last year. So always interesting to see how a lifter gets on when they come down in body weight.
Well, with these kind of weights, you can't exactly muscle it up. You need to rely more on technical ability. And just looking at the replay, you'll see it's all sluggish, very much on the upper body. Doesn't really change speed too much. Jumps the right foot backwards. And she's away from the bar. It's a disappointing start for Vuohijoki. There's Emily Godley in picture. 83 kilos on the bar. She must be due to come out very shortly. 87 is the weight that she's posted. It's the Swedish lifter, Patricia Strenius, former athlete, former CrossFitter. Quite new to weightlifting. Nervous, deep breaths.
The 2 Russians are the ones who posted the biggest totals, 220 kilos.
And there's one of them, Akhmetova.
Yeah, Akhmetova, I think, is a rising star, junior world champion, as I said last season, and introducing her. She won that title. Not actually last season, I beg your pardon, in 2014 in Kazan.
Usually, all of the competitions so far, the athletes have been told which warm-up platforms they're going to start on. I've just been backstage, and they're all on different platforms today. They're all mixed up, and the 2 Russians are at opposite ends of the room.
That is not unusual. Russian coaches do not like to go side by side. It's an absolute...
Well, the Brits are side by side, the Russians are opposite ends, and the Finns are opposite ends.
Yeah, well, but it's traditional with the Russians, with the coaches, because they all come from different parts of the country. And it's very competitive amongst them. So, Vryoki now for her second attempt at 86 kilos. As I said, this class is so competitive, every lift is really going to matter.
It's better, but it's not great. Oh. Well, a few steps forward to get back underneath the bar. Far from ideal, but it'll do. She's got one lift on the board.
Yeah, and clearly plenty of fight inside her. So Karazina Krasa back out onto the stage, and already this is her third attempt. So 83 kilos at the second time of asking. This is 86, and a reminder that the leading score at the moment is 90 kilos from Martinez Santiago of Spain, who really have got a bright squad of women lifters. And of course, a big highlight last night for one of their guys, Sanchez Lopez, who unexpectedly got an overall bronze medal, and it was party time.
Furious with herself. Bit of a swing on the bar, never really slowed down in the overhead position. She's got good shoulder flexibility, so no risk of hurting herself.
Yeah, tough call, though, having to come into this category where she's clearly, you know, at a big disadvantage.
Yes, she is. Not too much wrong with that. Just marginally out. There's a very fine line between success and failure.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think you can be that hard on her now, because, you know, she's come in here, she's been put in here to do a job. Now, here's the other Russian.
Karazina of Russia, just warming up, 35 kilos on the bar. She's posted 95, one of the heavier lifters that's going to be coming in, on one of the heaviest weights, sorry. Looking very powerful, very dynamic underneath the bar.
Yeah, both the Russians actually posting 95 for their openers. And now Sweden, Patricia Strenius, went to the World Championships in Houston and produced new personal best figures, of which 88 kilos was one of them. So she's opening up on her personal best here.
Oh. Is she going to get that? There's movement in the right elbow.
2-1 against.
No, and you know what?
We'll see this. We'll see this.
This is an athlete who's transferred from track and field, so has a good power base. Yeah, press out in the right elbow. Has a good power background in track and field. Has switched to CrossFit. We know that a lot of the CrossFitters need a bit of work technically, but that's a power snatch. It's not going to get you anywhere on this kind of platform.
So Anna Every currently in third place overall, 3 kilo increase to 88 kilos. Still two lifters ahead of her, and that is where she stays after that second attempt, in third place.
These lifters are just lacking that explosion through the middle. They just need to find a bit more. Just having the confidence to know where the bar's going. Zoe Smith warming up, 85 kilos on the bar, looking comfortable. Just having a look across to see what's going on with the scoreboard. Her coaches will have left her there. They're only a few meters away, keeping a very close eye on what's happening with the scoreboard. She's posted 90, but I think we might see her increase that.
Meanwhile, Patricia Strenius already with a more uphill task, needs to get this second attempt.
That's better with the arms. She'll get that. Not great technically. A power snatch at this level is far less efficient than a squat snatch. The difference being is how high you catch the bar. Anything above a 90-degree knee bend is considered power. Anything below is a squat. But you can just see how high the bar has to travel for her to be able to catch it in a power. And that's why it's a less efficient lift.
Just moves her up a place into second. Vuojoki out now for Finland. Remember, she recovered in the second attempt to collect 86 kilos, also going for 88 kilos. And she's a little bit lighter than the Swedish lifter, so this would push her into second place. Her last attempt, though, in the first half of the competition.
Oh, does well to fight. Can she stand?
Yes, she can.
Do you think she's happy with that one? Personal best lift, 88 kilos. What a place to do it. European Championships.
Well, she's actually equalled it. She has done it before in the Worlds.
Oh, really fighting hard at the bottom.
And now a teammate, Anna Maria Everi, also with the bar at 88 kilos. Last attempt for her.
No. It was more explosive, but just sat back underneath it. Didn't want to commit fully.
Yeah, that would have taken her ahead of her teammate, but as it is, she's left in fourth place.
Good extension. Just not quite underneath the bar.
So the first of the British lifters, Emily Godley, coming out here for her first attempt. The bar has gone to 89 kilos. And you might notice she's got a little quirk of wearing odd socks.
They look the same, but they're not. They've got different colour spots on them. Do you know what? This is a big starting weight for Emily. 89 kilos, best of 93, but that was at the heavier body weight of 63. Nice.
Really good opener. And again, here's another lifter who's actually come down in weight from the World Championships.
Yeah, so she's come down a whole body weight category. So, you know, it's five kilos lighter in body weight. That does make a difference. That's 5 kilos less muscle that she's carrying. To be able to maintain that kind of strength, having dropped that kind of weight, is really good to see. And 89 kilos looks solid underneath the bar. Well done, Emily.
Yeah, and that, for me, in this weight category, is her personal best in Snatch. So it's a really good start. And the bar going to 90 kilos for the Armenian Christine Petrosian.
She's already on the platform. You can see the loaders have just been asked to change the weight. Really, the lifter should have been held back just off the platform.
Yes, but they changed the rule some time ago, and I think it was a mistake to change that particular rule. You can see she's getting anxious, but I think she'd be.
She's saying, that'll do, come on, get off, let me have a go.
Yeah.
But the loaders have to do their job. They need to make sure the collars are done up for safety. Well, solid under the bar. Not sure she got full extension, but doesn't matter. Good first attempt.
And again, she's done 90 loads of time, but she actually has got a personal best, if you go back half a dozen years, of 100 kilos. And so it should be.
Well, I was expecting Zoe to come out.
No, she's put it up.
Heavier than 90. Yeah, she has gone up.
Yeah.
93 as she's increased it to.
That also indicates that our warm-up's gone her way. Because it's interesting with Zoe, isn't it? I mean, like so many lifters, but we know her that well that she's always a woman with problems with her back, problems with her knees. And it's just one of those things in weightlifting, isn't it? You just have to deal with it.
Well, it is. You know, the way she lifts leaves her predisposed to injuries in the knee shoulders and back, and she's suffering, I believe, with back and knees. But at this kind of level now, you take the painkillers, the adrenaline will mask the rest of the pain, hopefully, and she'll be okay. She's looking in good shape.
Patricia Strenius out for her third attempt, currently in 5th place, now 91 kilos. Christine Petrosian, with that successful attempt, leads the competition. But Strenius, with slightly lighter body weight, would go into 1st place with this lift.
Better extension, she's okay. Well, if only we can see her develop into a squat lift. I mean, that's more than I could power snatch at this body weight. She should be snatching over 100 easily if she learns how to lift properly. I'm sorry, I'm not saying she's not lifting properly. I mean, with a more efficient technique.
And she goes into the lead, but just reflecting on the leaderboard at the moment, there are still 4 lifters out there who've yet to start. So this competition only just warming up, and Emily Godney. Now, can she, well, deliver at 92 kilos the sort of quality that she showed us in that first excellent starting attempt of 89? That was a personal best. This is up 3 kilos.
Oh, close. That's a weight she can do, she knows it. See here, just sits back with her shoulders. She's improved technically from the last time I saw her, but when the bar's going behind, you do not want to try and hold on to it. That's Andy Gallard and Dave Sawyer. Andy's the one that turned away. And I'll tell you why he turned away. He saw one of his other lifters, Jack Oliver, lifting earlier today in the men's 77B group. And Jack, unfortunately, he made a total, but he did hurt his elbow on one of his jerks. Partial dislocation. It went straight back in. He'll be okay. Wish Jack the speediest of recoveries, hopefully in time for the British Championships later this year.
Indeed, quite painful. Quite painful.
Borneon, Italy.
So Zoe Smith for Great Britain, 93 kilos, first attempt. The Commonwealth Games champion, and we know that she's after your record of 97 kilos.
No, she's got 97. Record's 100.
Yeah.
Come on then, Zoe. Nice, easy first attempt. Great lifting from Zoe. She's in the competition. That'll be a relief. 2 attempts to go. How much further can she go?
So back she goes. And
she's got this habit of walking forwards as she recovers, so let's hope she doesn't run out of room on the platform.
And Petrosian in very quickly here. Zoe Smith in the lead. Petrosian pushed down to 3rd place.
Oh, short again, works hard to stop it going backwards. Good lift in from Christina.
Yeah, and you can see her start, isn't it? She comes straight onto the stage, straight to the bar, mentally very prepared for the lift.
Good, solid lift.
And that's brought her up into silver medal position. Zoe Smith leading from Christina Petrosian. Patricia Strenius of Sweden in 3rd place. And Emily Godley, very important lift this for her. As you said, when you were analysing the performance of the 2nd attempt, it's a weight that she looks as if she can surely do.
She can. She needs to believe it. There's no point in just diving under and hoping for the best. You've got to land these weights solidly and with confidence. Come on, Emily. Short that time. Just mistimed it off her thighs. Disappointing. Left back on 89 kilos. She would have loved to have walked away with that 93. She actually upped it a kilo from her 2nd attempt. That would have been a really Nice finish to the comp. Oh, that's good extension. Just slightly in front. Very fine line between success and failure.
So, Giorgia Bordignon of Italy, who just saw momentarily warming up, and 94 kilos on the bar. And the European bronze medalist of last year, in the top 12 in the World Championships in Houston, where she collected 96 kilos on her way to a total of 216, but she has actually lifted 98.
Well, that looks strong. We saw her do a last warm-up attempt a few minutes ago, which was 91 kilos. So she had another 3-kilo increase to start the competition. No problem at all.
The bar going now to 95 kilos, and that'll bring in the Russians, who are the only two who haven't started, and it looks as if it's going to be Karazina who's going to start. And that's the situation. Giorgia Bordignon, who's gone 94 kilos into the lead ahead of Zoe Smith by a kilo. Petrosian, as you can see, down in third place. But as I say, the two Russians about to get involved here.
I don't know. I think we're going to see the Russians increase.
Up. Yeah, they have. And Akhmatova has gone up to 100, and Karazina, the bar up to 98. So that means that at the moment somebody's going to have to come out at 95 kilos. It's Petrosian. So Kristina Petrosian straight to the bar. Well, that particular failure could be very important with regard to Zoe Smith's chances as well.
Yes, I think it could. Zoe has the potential here to go a few kilos ahead. I'm very excited now to see her coming out 96 kilos, 3-kilo increase.
Zoe, Commonwealth Games champion, but very much a Londoner, really.
Yeah, moved back home, now living at home, coached again by Andy Callard. Gone back to her roots, which is where she's found the most success.
And Rio, ultimately, his big objective.
Oh, needs to stand still. That's a good lift.
Yes.
2 from 2, 1 to go.
Takes her back into the lead over Bordignon of Italy and Petrosian of Armenia.
Not quite the full extension that she needs. That's why she had to run forwards to get back under. Doesn't matter, it's a good lift.
So there's an interesting battle developing here between Zoe Smith and Giorgia Bordignon of Italy and the two Russians, because they're basically potentially 4 lifters fighting for 3 medals.
They are. I'm already looking maybe a bit too far ahead, but to the clean and jerk, and I believe that Zoe has a stronger clean and jerk than Bordignon. So it's in Bordignon's interest right now to try and take Zoe's scalp on the snatch, but I know that Zoe will be coming out fighting for her third attempt. Both lifters in the zone.
Yeah, with Bordignon, you're probably looking around about the 120s, whereas with Zoe, actually, you can go to, what, 124?
She's talking a 130 or close to, so I'd like to think she's in PB territory today.
Well, that would be excellent. So many of these women were in competition against each other in Houston, in Texas, so it's interesting to see what improvement has been made in what? That was the end of November, we're beginning of April. So
if you remember, at the World
months.
Championships, Zoe did a 124. She was close on the 127. Yeah. So, you know, anything's possible today.
So Akhmatova onto the stage to open up at 98. Proposed 95. Warm-up went well, upped it 3 kilos. And this, of course, for the outright lead by 2 kilos over Zoe Smith, should she be successful. Couple of European junior gold medals to her credit already. Only 23 years of age.
Oh. You want to see... Whoa,
Yeah.
You want to see speed, you want to see fire.
Yeah.
You just saw it.
That was impressive.
Really solid under the bar. No movement, no bouncing, no wobbliness. Absolutely solid.
This is the new generation of Russian female lifters. So, Georgia Bourdignon now trying to attempt 98 kilos. Now, the weights are so tight here. Akhmatova, 62.18. Bourdignon, 62.21. So this would put her into silver medal position. And Zoe Smith will be pushed back down to bronze. But remember, the other Russian still to start.
She's got it. Zoe needs to at least equal that to go ahead on body weight. I think 98 is probably going to be the weight that Zoe will take. It's difficult. You come here with your own objectives, what you want to achieve, but sometimes you're forced to take the weights that your competitors make you.
Well, it's Zoe Smith's body weight at 62.05. That would push her back ahead of Bourdignon. But on the other hand, remember, Michaela, Bourdignon's still got one more attempt, so she can counter whatever Zoe does here.
Come on, Zoe. Oh, not quite the extension that we needed.
That's an expensive miss.
It's a very expensive miss. To be fair, it wasn't that close either. Never to arm's length. Let's have a look here. Yeah, she does get the extension at the hip, but kicks the bar out in front. 98 kilos, she's going to have to wait another day for that one.
Yeah, but the problem here and now is the fact that she only will carry forward 86. So Bourdignon's got the better of that argument early on. And so Zoe is going to have to rely on the clean and jerk to come back
and I think
challenge the Italian.
I think she's good enough on the clean and jerk to make up any deficit.
So, Karazina for Russia, 99 kilos. So this for the outright lead. Lifted 101 last year in that IWF Grand Prix in China.
Oh, no. Really strong back position off the floor. I want to see that from the side to see what went wrong. Best coaching angle is always from the side. The only thing really you can see from the front is the arm position. Good to there. Pulls with the arms a little early. Almost hit her at the bottom, like her arms went into lock and then bent. Almost over snatched it. Guessing this is well within her comfort zone. Her best lift, 109?
No, her best lift I've got as 101.
109, she did a Russian Grand Prix, I think, this year. Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah,
so
but
not a huge event, not a big international, but nonetheless.
And we don't know what her body weight was either. Current state of play on the screen. Karazina, 99 kilos, second attempt. Oh.
Ooh. We have a Russian under pressure right now.
Well.
2 failures, 1 to go, has to get this last lift.
Yeah, but also, even if she gets the last lift, she will not be zooming away from the likes of Bourdignon or indeed Zoe Smith.
No, she won't, and oh, goodness me. This could let Zoe in for a medal on the snatch.
Yeah. Akhmatova at the moment leading with 98 kilos. Bourdignon, in fact, coming out now for 99. Well, this is going for a personal best. So, at the moment, lying in the silver medal position, but this certainly would be fantastic for her. Again, the Italian women's team have been very consistent. They've been piling up the points here in the early days of the championship. Now, Podium, like Zoe Smith, tends to take a few steps forward.
Oh, she's got it. Well, that is a tremendous attempt.
And that's the best attempt.
It is. She only increased 1 kilo between second and third attempt. She's done that to put herself in the lead on the snatch to try and go for the gold medal. Brilliant lifting, 3 from 3.
Very good coaching as well. You've got to say that. They got the plan right and she executed it.
Well, this is a pressurized lift that we're about to see. Karazina, one of the hopefuls for a medal here. She's under real pressure, needs to make this lift.
She is actually also the under-23 European clean and jerk record holder. So she would be very frustrated if she's not in a position to capitalize and go for a total. But the time coming down to 30 seconds. Third and final attempt.
Well, why didn't she do that first time?
She stays alive in the competition, but of course she has not run away from the opposition, and by lighter body weight, 60.75 her body weight, compared to Podium, 62.21. So she's a light 63-kilo lifter, the Russian, and she goes into the gold medal position. Podium drops to silver. Akhmatova is in bronze, and Zoe Smith is down to 4th place.
Well, just one lifter now left in the competition. Akhmatova, let's see how much further she can go.
At this stage, had Zoe Smith made that third attempt, she would still be in the bronze medal position. So if something goes wrong here, they'll be pretty unhappy backstage. But Akhmatova is said to be one of their real rising stars.
Really good. Do you know what? I really do think they should get rid of these stickers. They're sticking, each athlete has a lot number, and they're asked to stick it to the side of their leg. But the positions that they're getting into, they just keep coming off, and it causes a safety hazard. If these athletes step on them and slip, then we're going to have some arguments.
Interesting enough, they've roughed up the stage since last night with a bit of sandpaper to make sure that the grip is as good as it can be. You might have noticed there were a lot of slips and slides, not all of them caused by the stage last night. There were some poor positioning of the legs, which contributed to 1 or 2, perhaps a few more failures, but they've addressed it anyway. And the Russians, well, Akhmatova, the bar has just gone to its statutory 1 kilo increase at 101. I'm sure she's going to come out for this third attempt, 102. And there you have the state of play, the 1, 2, 3. Those are the medals, gold, silver and bronze. So Russia, Russia, Italy. And Akhmatova just looking to get every kilo advantage she can going into the second half of the competition. But Akhmatova, on paper anyway, is much stronger than a teammate in the clean and jerk. And on the evidence of what we've seen, I mean, 2 absolutely electric snatch attempts, and both of them successful. Now, I know you had her at 109, but if I take that this was the IWF Grand Prix, was her best competition performance at this, so this would be a new personal best for her. It's not unusual for lifters to lift more kilos in different competitions as it is in training. Yes.
No way. No
You don't
way
think
is she
so?
getting that. No. She'll stand up. No way.
No, you're right. She stood
Massive
up.
press out in the right arm. Anybody could see that, apart from one of the referees. Wow. Can't believe she got one white light on that.
Yeah, that actually came from the referee on the left, who doesn't have the best view. Okay, I'm making slight. There's the press out.
Huge press out.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that the referee who white lighted was the referee sitting on the left and has a better view of the left arm rather than the right arm. Well, that's kept it a little tight, as you can see here. So Akhmatova takes the gold in the snatch, but she leads by a kilo from her teammate and Podium, who's only getting the bronze as a result of being a little bit heavier. And Zoe Smith in 4th place with work to do. 6 kilos off the lead.
But it's time now to put that behind her, focus on what's about to come.
I think she's a bit of an unknown quantity. I mean, she was a naughty young lady. She missed a couple of years in the sport for taking an illegal substance, so she's done her time for the crime, so to speak. But it does mean that, you know, she's coming back in, and apart from that Grand Prix last year in China, hasn't really had much experience on a big international stage.
Yeah, we don't really know what she's capable of. She's posted a 1:15. I reckon she's probably going to come out around 1:20, but who knows what she's capable of.
Yeah, just a reflection on the two Finnish athletes, and it is Vuohijoki who's got the better of that argument, and she leads her teammate by 3 kilos. That's her teammate Anna Every, so there's a bit to play for there, because when you have two lifters in the same competition, there's absolute determination by both of them to come out top. Emily Godley for Great Britain at the moment down in 8th place, and of course the B group earlier on, I need to bring you up to date with that, because in the B group, in the clean and jerk, again, it was on this occasion Ina Andersen of Norway who produced the best clean and jerk, 104 kilos. And this was her earlier in the day. Much to the delight of the home crowd, seeing a Norwegian lifter, albeit in the B group, but succeeding. No medals, but the satisfaction of being the best clean and jerk athlete in her division. So already out on stage now, Vuohijoki for Finland, 106 kilos to open up on. And she's very much in lone territory here. She might well be following herself, even if she makes this first attempt. No. Well, you see how she put that over her head, the hips went back, and the lift was lost.
On the jerk, it's so important to drive with the legs. If you try and force it with your arms, you lose that huge amount of power that you could have had from legs and glutes. Clean was fine, no problem at all.
Yeah, but
jerk just does not use her legs to drive through that start position. As a result, pushes herself away, and that's when you see the back leg drift out.
So, Anna Maria Every. Now, Every at the halfway stage. 3 kilos to make up. So here's an opportunity on her teammate. Slides the hands out to make the short distance for the jerk. And first attempt made.
Yeah, looks fairly comfortable. Best of 109, 3 kilos short of that. I think we'll probably see maybe a 110 attempt next, personal best.
And just to emphasize, as you see the Finn, it's still Irene Martinez Santiago from the B group overall who leads with 194 kilos as the total. And at the moment, Anna Every in second place, but a couple of kilos down on that at the moment. 3 kilos to be precise. So for Yoki now to try to make amends. Bar still on 106 kilos.
Again, the clean is good. It's better, slightly wobbly. Manages to stand still, her feet were planted and in line. The fact that her body was twisting is okay.
Now, I'm going to be quite interested to see the winning total of this competition. This was won a year ago by Yulia Kalina from the Ukraine. 106, 132, 238 the total to win the European title a year ago. Clean and jerk European record, 141 kilos.
The thing is, David, we're missing quite a lot of the top lifters because they've already qualified for the Rio Games. They're almost resting at this point or training through. They're going to show their cards when it really matters later in the year.
So, Petrosian, Armenia.
It's a power jerk, one of the variations of the jerks that we often see at this level of competition. The split jerk is more efficient. You're able to get in a more stable position whilst dropping the body quite low. See here, it hits her hard at the bottom. But the power jerk hardly has to bend her knees to get underneath. Looks very comfortable.
So Petrosian into the overall lead and in the clean and jerk. 201 her running total. For Yoki now in second place, 194, ahead of Martinez Santiago of Spain from the B group, who's dropped to third overall. Krasa, Poland.
That's okay. She's a very tall lifter, hands fairly close on the jerk. That makes it difficult to lock out in the elbows. That's why it looks a little softer than some of the athletes we've seen. No problems with her first attempt.
Yeah, and I think she's going to enjoy this a little bit more than the first half of the competition. This is the woman who, of course, weighed in with that incredible disadvantage of 58 kilos. I mean, you're looking at virtually 5 kilos below this bodyweight class. And perhaps you'd like to put that in perspective, Mikhailo, you know, just how difficult it is, how much you're giving away.
Well, you're giving away 5 kilos of muscle. It's as simple as that. And those 5 kilos are usually carried in the legs and the backside. That's where the powerful muscle groups are, the glutes and the quads. Oh, they work all the way through the lift, and as we can see there, Every needs to go back and work on the quads.
Got another attempt at 109 though, and her teammates put the bar to 110, or at least she's proposed 110 for herself. So Every, her teammate, looks as if she's going to have to follow herself, because there's nobody else in that part of the world who wants to come out. Akhmatova at the moment, 120 kilos for her first attempt, and her teammate Khaliskina 115. Zoe Smith in picture there.
Emily Godley looking very focused on the right. She's due to be coming out in a second on 110. The bar's on 109 at the moment.
Now, Zoe's at the moment got 110 as her first attempt, but you were saying earlier in the day that, you know, she was seriously thinking about 130.
Well, I was talking to her a couple of days ago, and she mentioned 130. She posted a 90 on the snatch, but came out on 93. She's posted 110 on the clean and jerk. I reckon she'll be coming out closer to 115, 117. Obviously depends on how the warm-up goes, how she's feeling on the day, but this is one occasion where she hasn't been hampered by having to lose several kilos in body weight, so this should be a real test of where she's at.
So a big cheer here, and all the Finnish contingent in just behind us, and Every getting all the support she can possibly wish for from her teammates. So 109.
No, doesn't have the legs. Back to the squats. Need to work harder.
Just shows you, though, doesn't it? Because, you know, she came out and took the 106, and it looked pretty straightforward.
Yeah. People often ask me, what kind of weight will these girls be squatting? And this is, I guess, a body weight category I can relate to. 140 was my best squat, and I was fairly weak as a weightlifter. A lot of the girls in this category will be squatting around the 150, 160 as a front squat, probably close to a 180 as a back squat.
Akhmatova, beginning of the warm-up.
Yeah, 50 kilos on the bar, just loosening off.
And Strenuous of Sweden well into her warm-up as Emily Godley out on stage for her first attempt. Well, it didn't exactly go to plan, but that's all got to be put out of her mind and just focus on the clean and jerk here. The British team, like so many here, looking for their lifters to finish in the highest possible positions.
Nice from Emily, well done. Really good first attempt. I tell you now, she's a lifter that's been working hard. She's been spurred on by the rise of some of the other British lifters, and she has gone away, worked hard. And if you look back on her history over the last 2 or 3 years, she's overcome disappointment of not making the London Games, and she's taken that as a positive rather than a negative, and she's tried to come back stronger, and that she has. Really impressed with Emily's progress.
That is a 2 kilo personal best.
In this weight category.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's had a feel for heavier weights when she was lifting at 69. Did a 119 at 69 body weight, so it'd be interesting to see how close she's able to get to that.
Petrosian, as ever, pretty direct. I'll be interested to see how she cleans this second attempt. Oh, that's okay. Power jerk.
Yeah, not the tidiest that we've seen, but she gets the job done.
3 kilo increase takes her to the top of the overall leaderboard, 204 kilos.
I don't think she's going to be quite as competitive on the clean and jerk as she was in the snatch. She had a 5th place finish. She's up in the lead at the moment, but there's still another 5 lifters yet to start.
Yeah, but she's still progressive. I mean, she's been regularly and consistently achieving 200, 201. So now she's got 204 on the board. That's a good step forward. Now Krasa, second attempt.
Yeah, that's good. Needs to stand still, which she does. Only just keeps her hands on the bar below shoulder height. We saw on one of the first days one of the lifters' lifts being overruled by the jury for letting go too early. The rules specify you must keep your hands on the bar until the bar passes the shoulders. She does it, but only just.
So Buiyoki and a 5 kilo increase here. She's currently in 4th place, so this would take her up to 199, but by virtue of a lighter body weight over Emily Godley, who's currently in 2nd place, she would push the British athlete down into 3rd place. But Emily's still got 2 attempts to come. This is the last attempt for Buiyoki.
This is a big increase. Too much. I'm not sure that was the best call by the coaches based on her failing her first attempt. Her second attempt was not the easiest. To go up another 5 kilos, maybe 3 would have been better. But these girls are vying for points. and they want to push it to the limit. Clean was good, clean was strong.
Well, it's always interesting in the relationship between coaches and the lifters, Michaela, as to who makes the final decision on the increase. You know, it works both ways, doesn't it? Sometimes there are coaches who ultimately make the decision according to a discussion that's happened earlier on.
Depends how well the coach knows the athlete, because sometimes these coaches will be thrown with the athlete at the big international competitions because they're national coaches. In many cases, we've got here 100, 110.
Yeah. 5 kilos to go because 115.
Power jerk as well, looking comfortable, 110.
115 she's due to come in at.
She'll go up.
Emily Godley going up 4 kilos to 114. This would take her to 203 kilos. Would keep her in second place. But she also had 2 failures in the first half of the competition. So would love to complete a sequence of 3 good clean and jerk attempts.
Oh, come on, Emily. Got to believe it. Someone needs to give her a slap. Wakey, wakey. Got to come onto this platform a whole lot more positive than that. Here, plenty of height on the bar. Absolutely loads of room to get underneath. That's in the head.
Petrosian back on for her 3rd attempt, 114. Current leader.
And extends that lead.
Yeah, and that is 5 out of 6 lifts she's made. And with that extra 3 kilos, 207 kilos personal best, and appreciation for the work that she's just delivered from her coaches. Good effort by the Armenian. She's quietly gone about her work. Will she get any sort of reward for what she's just delivered?
Well, I don't think she's going to be good enough for the medals, but she's done everything she can.
That 114, by the way, right on the money for Petrosian in terms of, you know, what she's lifted before. So Krasa now looking for, as you can see, 3 out of 3. If she does this will really cheer her up. Remember, in this bodyweight category where she's 5 kilos under the limit. 10 seconds. Come on.
Oh, wrist support's come off. That's going to hurt. Oh, that's a huge personal best for Krasa. Really confident lifting. I don't know. That's brilliant. That's a gutsy performer. That's somebody that believes in their preparation, that believes in their potential. Stands up strong, and here fully commits, fully underneath the bar, fights all the way to the end, loses a wrist support in the process, but who cares?
Yeah, and didn't allow that to disturb her concentration as well. So terrific effort. I absolutely agree. So Krasa, 3 great efforts there. Now Emily Godley still in second place, but coming out for this 3rd attempt. You were really disappointed with her on that 2nd attempt. The bar at 114 kilos, as it was for the 2nd attempt.
Gotta commit.
This is for a total of 203.
Up, come on. No. So disappointing. She really will look back and be disappointed with this competition. 89, 110. She's got the points for the team, not quite the points we were hoping for. But at least she's got a total. So close.
I think your assessment is absolutely spot on. In terms of the competition, I think she will be disappointed with herself.
Just look how straight the back leg is. It pulls the hips behind the bar. It's going to put a curve in the lower back. You've got to bend your knee just a fraction to be able to get the hips underneath. I just hope that Emily continues to develop in the manner that she has done, because she's better than that.
So Krasa at the moment just preparing herself for 115 kilos.
Well,
Indeed.
she is coming out on this weight. I eat my words. I was convinced she was going to come out heavy. Maybe the knock of confidence after the snatch has had an effect. Coming out, getting one good lift in is maybe a sensible decision.
Petrosian, Godley, Krasa, the 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Armenia, Great Britain and Poland. Zoe Smith still to start her campaign. And her bar for the opening weight has gone up to 115 from 110 kilos.
Well, that is easy. Oh. I think she's going to sit back and wait now, watch the rest of the lifters, see what they do, see what she needs.
Well, she's got the advantage of having 2 attempts as well.
4 lifters yet to start. This is going to be tight, really, really close. Could Zoe go even better than a bronze, maybe? No pressure.
Podium is going to be next out, though, and that's a very significant athlete in terms of Zoe Smith's world, because at the halfway stage, Podium on 99 kilos, Zoe Smith on 96. On paper, at least, Zoe Smith has got the better of her, as you see Akhmatova warming up in the back room.
Yeah, 106 on her bar.
Now, Podium for 115 kilos. Did 120 at the World Championships in America. Been lifting in this weight category now for 3 seasons.
A bit sluggish getting underneath, stands strongly, dips forwards, not a great jerk, but it's there, it's at arm's length. If you see that from the side, just look how far behind the bar her hips are. She compensates with a curve in the lower back.
She totally got away with that.
Very lucky, that was not the best lift we've seen. Can't see from this angle.
Yeah, but the arms are good, but if we see it again from the side, you'll see the point. But in fact, Zoe Smith already out on the stage here. 116 now. So, first attempt.
This should be comfortable.
That will get 3 white lights.
That looked nervous, David. What do you think?
It did, but it's going to get 3 white lights.
Oh, it's going to get 3 lights for sure, but I hope she can relax a little now and start appreciating how good she is, because there's a lot more that she's capable of. That looks a little bit tentative. Good news is she's in the competition, she's made a total, she can breathe a sigh of relief. Now it's time to really open up.
Yeah, that's moved her into 3rd place ahead of Petrosian, who of course has finished her lifting. And now Akhmatova, 116 kilos, same weight as Zoe Smith, but of course the leader at the halfway stage.
Just having a look at the scoreboard, David. Krasa has gone up from 115, easy first attempt, up to 123.
8 kilos.
Oh, goodness me.
Well, that was hard.
It was. We saw her on 106 a minute ago in the warm-up room. She's come out here at 116. She had originally posted a 120. This is a sign that her warm-up hasn't gone to plan. She's now a kilo ahead of her teammate. She's going to be under a bit of pressure here.
But actually, in the first half, you were actually predicting this reversal of fortunes between the two Russian
I think
women.
Krasa has a stronger clean and jerk. I think Zoe is an unknown quantity right now. They're calling Zoe for 117. She won't come out on that.
No.
She's put it to 119.
Well, the 137 that Krasa has got in the clean and jerk came from the fact that she is the under-23 clean and jerk European record holder. That's her record, 137.
Well, she's the lifter with the class in this group. Can she bring it to the platform today?
So Patricia Strenius now for Sweden. First attempt coming out on 118 kilos. And Patricia representing Sweden in 6th place at the halfway stage. 91 kilos, so 9 kilos off the lead at the halfway stage. Now, how much damage can she do in the clean and jerk?
Dropped her chest as she dipped. What a shame. She's a bit of an unknown quantity right now. Only a couple of years that she's been training specifically just for weightlifting, so you would expect a rapid improvement. The clean was better technically than we saw in the first half of the competition, but here drops her chest there, and that's what cost her the lift.
So there's Zoe Smith, clean and jerk at the moment, leading the way from Akhmatova by virtue of her lighter body weight. But still a ways to go and a few twists and turns to come. Now, Strenius is going to have to come out and follow herself. The 118 that she's just taken as her first attempt is equal to her personal best. She is really following the same path that she used in the first half of the competition. It's those achievements in Houston and those of today determined her starting attempts in both the snatch and now the clean and jerk. So obviously she's come here thinking, well, since Houston I've made progress. So
yeah, she's obviously done more in the training room. She needs this now. Good. Keep your chest high. Chase it. Oh, goodness me. She had the chance to get back underneath the bar. Well, she's going to be following herself one more time with all the other lifters having increased their weights. She's under pressure, not long to recover. The clean was fine. Kept her chest much, much higher, dipped straighter. Not too much wrong here. She should have got back underneath quicker, recovered quicker, and she may have had a chance of saving it. What a shame. She's done the hard work twice now, and all this is doing is running her energy levels into the ground. Podium, 100 kilos, power clean, just taking an extra lift to keep herself ticking over.
So Zoe Smith taking a 3 kilo increase, 119 kilos.
Well, the bar's gone up. Strenius decided she needs a little more time to recover. Just putting the bar up by 1 kilo forces Zoe Smith out. Come on then, Zoe. Again, this should be a weight she's very capable of.
Zoe currently now in 4th place, but these 3 kilos will give her 215, so it will zoom her from 4th into the overall silver.
That's a tough clean. Come on, Zoe. Well, I don't... Hold it, hold it. Ooh, soft in the arms, soft in those arms.
Yeah,
is she going to get it?
Wasn't it? Do you think she'll get it?
I don't know. I'd like to hope so,
edge.
but
no, 2-1 against.
Ah. Well, that could be hugely costly. She's just letting Podium back into the competition. We've still got 2 Russians that are ahead of her. She desperately needs this lift. 1 attempt remaining.
Watch the right arm. There you can see it. Just unlocked there for a fraction. It was the right decision, Michaela. The referees were
right. Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah. I didn't want to see the press out.
No. But Akhmatova
Well, she's taken an interesting call here. Only gone up 3 kilos. Just remember how tough her first clean was. She's struggling right now.
So she's sitting in the lead on 216.
No, she's not getting that. There's a press out there. She's not happy with herself. Whew. This is
how expensive.
This is becoming quite tense.
It is, but you know the point you made was, you know, how expensive was that failure by Zoe Smith?
Well,
you know, because she'd have been just.
Yeah, but you look at all these lifters. It's always a case of woulda, coulda, shoulda, but didn't. She's got one attempt to change it. Going to see Strenius first of all, though. Third attempt, 119. This to stay in the competition.
Yeah, and Strenius has taken a little extra time by putting the kilo on 118 to 119, which would be a personal best for her. But actually, Zoe Smith, third attempt. Just having a look at where Strenius has gone. Strenius has gone to 120. So that pushes Zoe Smith out, whether she likes it or not.
This could be foolish from Strenius. This could cost her a place, but it forces Zoe back out with not much recovery time. She's still blowing really heavily. This is where it is important to be fit as a weightlifter. Come on, Zoe. Cleans it.
And that was better. Now, come on now.
Keep pushing, keep pushing. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to...
I know, but, you know, I'm not sure.
She's got it 2-1.
It was that right arm again.
Well, there's no movement from the jury. No. That's a good lift, good decision. Well, that's pushed. Where is she now? Look, there's definite movement in those elbows. She needs to be careful. It's a good lift. She saved it. She's into second place overall.
Yeah, but what she's got to learn to do is not give the referees or indeed the jury the opportunity to red light her. And Akhmatova coming out now for the third and final attempt. Zoe Smith, silver medal position, first in the clean and jerk. Just a kilo behind Akhmatova.
She's dizzy. Oh, much better to arm's length this time. Really good recovery. She was already ahead of Zoe overall, so that doesn't make a difference to the overall rankings, but that extends her lead.
Yeah, but that gives her an extra 3 kilos, takes her up to 219 kilos. Just to put that in perspective, when she won the Junior Worlds a couple of seasons ago, she was actually totaling up 236, so she's...
Oh, a huge difference.
Well down. Now, Karazina coming out now on 120. She did go up to 123, but she's dropped it back to 120 because of the circumstances of the competition.
She's playing the competition. She has to come in on this now to put herself in the lead. So this is a sensible call.
5 kilo increase. It will take her up to 219, and she will go ahead of her teammate by virtue of lighter body weight. So.
She's got a big clean. You can see that with how easy she stands. Well, that's enough to take the lead. Really, really solid. What's she asking for? The collar's loose?
Yeah. She's just indicating she's not happy with that.
I don't know if the collar was loose. I don't know if you can see on these collars, there's a wobbly bit with a black ball on the end. That sometimes flicks down, and when you're lifting, it sounds like... Let's have a look on the right collar.
Now, Podium.
It's only rattling, that's all.
Podium with a 5 kilo increase. This is going to take her to 219. Now, this would put her ahead of Zoe Smith. Zoe Smith down at the moment to overall third, silver in the clean and jerk. So, and Podium with not only 1, but 2 attempts left, including this lift.
Oh, no. Right on her toes. She's just wasted one. One attempt remaining to take a medal away from Zoe.
Well, 120 in recent times is very much on her limit. You know, she produced 120 in Houston, so it's marginal.
Well, this is huge now from Stranius. Huge attempt, personal best. She does not have a clean and jerk registered yet, so this to stay in the competition.
So, half a minute in which to save her afternoon. Can she stand? Yes, she can. Huge effort required.
She oscillating that bar, though.
No. Well, it was a huge attempt for her. Would have been a significant personal best, and she's really disappointed. You can see there, coach trying to console her, but
it's an outside chance of a clean and jerk medal she was going for. She gave it everything. You've got to give her credit. Very, very strong go. She's only been in this sport for a couple of years. She's going to be a talent in the future.
Now, as far as Zoe Smith's afternoon, this is the crucial moment, because Bourdignon makes it and she pushes Zoe Smith out of the overall medals. She would push Zoe Smith down to third, though, in the clean and jerk.
Can we get a camera on Zoe? A fighter.
Well, Bourdignon, she really deserves it. It's a 2-to-1 majority, ironically, similar to Zoe's last attempt. And the jury seems satisfied with that. And it means that Bourdignon's gone up to third. Zoe Smith still clinging on to a bronze medal in the clean and jerk, but that is the consolation prize, I'm afraid, because it's all down now to Krasa just to finish it all off. She's won the gold medal. She's got 219. She's ahead of her teammate. The bar's gone to 123. We know that this is her forte. And so, Russia who, by Russian standards, are languishing a moment in the medal table. They haven't got, or they didn't have until today, a single gold medal in the championships.
No, they've definitely brought a second-rate team here, resting those who are likely to be competing in Rio, because they've already qualified their quota of places. Final clean and jerk. 123. It's there, it's comfortable, really good effort.
And that is a little bit of icing on the cake there for Krasa, who's come through after a worrying first phase in the snatch discipline to take the championship very decisively with 223 kilos. So Russia's first gold medals of the championship. And Natalia Karazina, she takes the overall championship title ahead of her teammate Akhmatova, with Georgia Bourdignon totally delighted, as she should be, with an overall bronze for Italy, and Zoe Smith's consolation prize, a bronze medal in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, she's going to be disappointed with that, but great lifting from Bourdignon. You cannot take it away from her. A real fighter today.
Жене привет передаю.
Да.
Спасибо.
What's your Russian like? I think she's pleased.
I think she's passing on a few happy messages to Antonio Urso, the president of the European Weightlifting Federation, an Italian, of course, himself, congratulating Giorgia Bordignon. And he knows how precious that medal is, and along with it, the points that she's just earned for the Italian team. There, you can see the results for the clean and jerk. Karazina ahead of Bordignon, who takes another really good medal in silver, and Zoe Smith the bronze. Well, the total results still to come. We're going to overall championship won by Karazina with a total of 202. She takes the gold medal for the clean and jerk and the overall, and of course got a silver in the snatch phase. The other gold, of course, going to Akhmatova, who ends up as the overall silver medalist, and Bordignon a bronze in the snatch, a silver in the clean and jerk, and an excellent bronze in the overall. For Zoe Smith, perhaps an afternoon where she'll reflect on a couple of attempts where, if only she'd managed to execute accurately, then, well, who knows, she would be collecting more than just the bronze in the clean and jerk. In the overall medal table, it's Russia, who had no gold medals until this competition, who've now moved up into second place, and 14 countries now have got medals at these championships, including Great Britain, who are now on the medal roster. 14 countries from a total of 40 participating here at the European Championships.
Executive Board Member, Italian Weightlifting Federation.